up to the starting line. Here it is, your time to shine. Take that step and make your play. Your best life starts here today. Just let go of all your doubt. Let your confidence win out. Come with us and you will find the best results come when you're kind. Epic Agility Masterclass for those who want to kick some ass.
Catchy, right?
Super catchy.
Catchy song. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So good to be back in Germany. And Max just arrived back in Germany. So greetings, everybody. Let us know where you're from and let us know if you do agility. I've got a question for you, but I've got some housekeeping to do first. First of all, if you are in the Masterclass group, you're watching in the Masterclass group, then you would have been able to download the handbook for tonight. And if you are not, if you go to the bottom, dogsat.com/skills, you can get into the group. And in the Masterclass notebook, the very first page is going to be a poster for you to print out and put it on your door. Do not disturb. I'm with my agility peeps. We, of course, have one on the Airbnb out front,
Yes,
of course. Sure. And so that's your first little bit of housekeeping. A few things for you. Number one, let's just start by thanking our sponsors. So we have two awesome sponsors, some hearts for our sponsors. We have amazing prizes that we're giving away. So we're going to give away prizes all week. Galligan and For My Merles Tug Toys. I brought some For My Merles toys. Ooh la la, pretty colors. And so we're going to give those away. And I'm just going to show you, this looks really, really cool. The good people at Galligan and at Run It. So we're going to give some hearts for Run It is the North American distributor of Galligan. So check out what we're giving away later. Look at that. Beautiful tunnel bags with a beautiful logo on it. What? It's gorgeous.
Looks so good.
It looks so good. So right now, I'm going to give away two tug toys. I'm going to give away one at the end of this live, and I'm going to give one to start tomorrow for anybody who shares this masterclass on social media anywhere. So
share it.
All you have to do is do dogsat.com/skills, with scrolling across the bottom and say epic awesome
Agility Masterclass.
Exactly. And tomorrow we have a couple big surprises tomorrow, but our
one huge one.
We're special guests. That we aren't. Let's have a guessing game. What do you think the gender of our special guest is? Which, in agility, maybe it's not that difficult. Your odds are in favor of guessing one or the other. But anyway, so if you share the link to the masterclass, come on back in the comments and write shared and where you shared it. Did you share it in stories? Did you share it on your Facebook page, so that our team can verify the share? And then we will pick one before we end tonight. Kim, you got to stay on top of that and remember, because we won't.
No.
We're going to give away a tug toy from For My Merles before we end tonight. So I don't use social media aside from YouTube. So you can go to your YouTube page and do a video about us.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Send us the link and we will
really
share
good.
that.
Yes, we will share that for sure.
Okay, so some more reminders I have for you. There's a chat going, and we would love for you, obviously, share it in the chat. As we go on, if you have questions about what we're talking about tonight, then for sure, put your questions in the chat. However, we can't answer specific, my dog's missing their running contact tonight. I mean, we could answer it, but we actually don't have enough time.
Yes.
We'll probably be on for probably 90 minutes, honestly, because if there are questions, we are going to answer them, but we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. So that is, what did I forget? Who's Mike? Oh, Max.
Mike.
There you go. Good work, Kim. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So see, a lot of you are sharing it. That's great. And so this live is the first masterclass, and we are going to be sharing a lot of things tonight. It's the first of 4. This one, you don't actually have to be logged in to the masterclass lobby to see it. We're putting it all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but only this first episode. To get our downloads, tomorrow is a tutorial they're going to love.
This would be really cool.
Really cool. To get anything that follows tonight, you have to be logged into the masterclass. And that's the little address that's scrolling along the bottom right now. That will log you into the masterclass, get the downloads, and be able to see all of the 4 parts. So just wanted to, and I'll try to remind you of that, because some people will be jumping on later, or as we're going along. We have 1,100 on right now, almost 1,200. So the link today didn't work, timed out. Okay, the team will be on that. Again, if you ever have a question, we have a small country of people that work behind us, and they are there to make sure that you are happy. So just contact the team. And if you don't know the address to contact, I'm going to put that up there right now. WAG, as in, good work. WAG@dogsthat.com. If you have a problem getting into any of these courses. Okay, so I'm going to go back to there. We've got people checking for questions or comments. But first, a lot of people in North America may not know you. So I'm going to take a little bit of time, and I see a lot of people from you. I mean, there's been Spain, Finland, Norway, there's UK, Caldwell, Idaho. There's a lot of people from all over the world watching. And I just want to take a minute to brag about Max. And so because some people in North America may not have heard about you. So Max has been alive for less years than I've been doing agility.
True.
And so let me get this right. Check my math on this. You've won a gold medal at the World Championships or the European Open with, let's go backwards, Remix, My Little Guy Prophet's mother, Style, My Little Guy's father, Make, your Sheltie. Yeah. So he handles both big dogs and little dogs, and Make is especially little.
She's very small.
And Bax.
Yes.
Am I missing anybody?
Yes.
Okay, who?
Emma. Emma, she was my fox terrier. I started with the fox terrier, and
you were on the EO team?
Yes.
Wow.
She made it to the EO team, and we actually managed to win the team final.
Wow. Okay, so that's 5 different dogs.
Yes.
That you've won a gold medal at the European Open or the World Championships, which to me, the European Open is almost harder to win than the World Championships, because you have a lot of good handlers. But this is what I describe, especially like Swagger got a silver, beat by Jess by 2/100ths of a second. Yeah. Not that I'm bitter, Jess, but I say, like, you have all of the great people that are consistent at winning, but you also have the young up and coming dogs at the EO, because you can only bring 5 dogs on a team to the World Championships, but you can bring 16 to the European Open. Yes. So to win that in a lot of ways is harder. And so to win that many gold medals, I mean, there's a lot. I've lost count. With 5 different dogs, small dogs, terriers, border collies. I mean, that is impressive, but to have done it and you're only 24 years old, it's crazy, right?
It's super crazy.
I know.
Yes.
And I'm going to brag one more time, because Max has been in the last month. He has taken some time off, but he's been in 4 big tournaments. Yes. So it started off with Run and Chill in Germany, a big tournament in the south of Germany. And then it went to the Border Collie Classic, a big competition in England. Then the European Open. And then this weekend, the Luleå, which is Swedish Cup. Open. And he won all of them.
Yes. It's pretty crazy.
Anybody out there bored? Anybody out there bored yet? Like,
I'm not.
winning is important. But my point is, like, to be that young and to be that consistent, that there are some secrets. And I think what we're talking about tonight is a big part of it.
Mhm.
And so that I think that is amazing. Yeah, let's have some congratulations and some hearts for Max and
Thank you.
all of his dogs, because I mean, it's spectacular. It's pretty darn impressive. Not bored.
Not bored. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, super important. Okay. So I have a question for everybody, and I got to find my question because I have a question that I would like everyone to answer, and it is, you know, if I was to ask Max, how do you define success? I am 100% certain it would not be about winning, because I know this guy.
Yes.
So I would like you to write in the comments in agility, whether you're just training for your first agility dog, whether you have been doing agility for 20 years, and how do you define success for you? And you know, maybe it's changed over the years, but you know, I think people who success is about podiums, they're the ones who give up on the sport early.
Yes. I mean, it's designed for frustration.
That's true.
Yeah. If your like ambition is super high in the beginning, it can be very frustrating.
It's humbling.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's what
very humbling.
It's
Maybe humbling is the correct word.
Okay, so was Emma your first ever agility dog?
Yeah, she was
That
my
you
first ever
competed?
dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And she was very special.
Oh,
So,
terriers.
yes, I learned a lot.
My
I learned
first
a lot
dog
from her.
was terrier as
Yeah.
well, so
Yes.
gotta have a special place in your heart for them. So I want you to think about, and if you feel like sharing that, how you define success, because you know, when you think about success in agility, you know, it may be part of who you are growing up and who you are even as an adult. It may be wrapped into you going through like learning how to be present.
Yes.
It's a great
Yes.
lesson, you know, teacher for that.
Yes.
There's so many things that people can learn.
Yes.
So we have connection through joy is how you define success, having fun and building confidence, feeling a perfect flow in a course together with my dog. Yeah, that's beautiful. Building a strong bond. It's great answers.
Really good answers.
Success equals building a strong bond, increasing clarity of communication with your dog, and yes, having fun. So I think I mean, it's such a personal thing. There is no right or wrong answer.
Of course, yes.
Potentially there are healthy and unhealthy answers, but
For sure.
we're not going to judge. So lots of really, really good answers. I'm going to say that for me, and I think I did a picture of you when I put what a success may look like. So in agility.
Oh, I love that picture.
I do
It looks
too.
like I can dance.
So for me, and I think agility success is about you, the handler, directing with clarity,
Yeah.
and your dog is driving with confidence.
Yes.
And I was thinking about this a lot. Maybe take a screen cap of that, because like Max is a great dancer. So I've been thinking about this a lot because I was like, how would you define it? And it was like, oh, you're leading with confidence. But as a handler, I may not be leading. You will likely be leading more than I will be leading.
Maybe not always.
But no,
Yes.
you do a lot of behind work
Yes.
as well, and
Yes.
rely on your verbals heavily. So the success is really about us being able as handlers to direct.
Yes.
So direct the dog with great clarity. That's the handler's role. Just direct your dog with brilliant clarity. The more clarity you can direct,
Yes.
the more successful your dog
Yes.
will be.
And it doesn't have to be close to the dog.
No.
Yeah.
Well, for some of us, it's very far away from the dog, especially the new dog. So, and then for the dogs, from the dog's point of view, is that they're driving. I mean, they're driving with confidence. So as fast as that dog is capable of going, they're going with confidence. And so how do we define that? I think that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. So I'm going to ask you one more question, and that is, what skills, handling skills, some of you who are new to agility might not have an answer, but you might. What handling skills allows a handler to direct with clarity? Like, not just handling it. What are the skills that that person has? So we're going to look at everything, not just, you know how to say words. There's a lot of things. What are the skills that you may have that allows you to drive the dog with clarity?
I'll give you a small hint.
Yes.
There might be one that's a little bit responsible for all of the skills that we need.
That's a great hint. What I call that is a domino skill. And we have it for so many things in agility and in dog training in general. There's one skill that when you have it, it makes all the other skills easier.
Yes.
Right? So that's a great hint. Okay, so timing, beautiful, good answer. Body language, ooh, mindfulness, brilliant.
That's a good one.
Yeah, not getting in your dog's line. I think understanding what your dog's line is. So we're going to help you. Kuro Reaper, not being dyslexic and clumsy, struggle so much with turns. So ability to read courses and understanding the lines, all of these things are important for you to direct with clarity.
Yes.
So we're talking about direct with clarity. See the dog. Max, you're brilliant at that. I think you're one of the best in the world at really keeping your dog in vision.
I think it's about the timing as well. I do have some hints on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some tricks for that.
Maybe he'll share them with us.
Maybe I will share them.
I was somebody on the weekend when I was training with a group of people, and they said, why do you think Max is? I said, one of the things that you're really, really good at is knowing, I mean, there's many things, but knowing how to use your motion and from a distance, what impact I called you like Wayne Gretzky. Do you understand that reference?
No. Maybe I'm too young.
I don't know. We can be friends anymore.
I'm sorry.
Greatest hockey player that's ever played.
Okay.
So
I feel honored.
Okay. He is born and raised about 15 minutes from where I live.
Okay.
And tiny little guy in a sport of really big guys, and his uncanny ability of knowing where the puck would be. So never skating to where the puck was, but understanding where the puck would be. And you understand angles and pressure of your dog running. And that's why you know how to turn your shoulders and when to slow your speed and when to just accelerate. Because if you accelerate at the wrong time, bars are falling and dogs are going in the wrong direction.
Yes. And then everything can happen. The dogs can go a little bit offline or something. And if you're not capable of the control of that and seeing it, how are you able to react to it?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
can't.
And so to be able to run with that and still not run over all the equipment in your path, that's a talent.
I mean, I did that a couple of times.
Okay, so you need to be good at reading lines, foundation, connecting with your dog, good focus for the dog, position of your feet. A lot of people saying the word connection. There was one word that, like, if you had to pick one that we talked about, the domino, what would be your domino? So confidence, motion, direction, being present. Early cueing. So a lot of great think
Super good answers.
Still looking for the one that I think is the domino. And then maybe we think we're thinking the same thing here. I'll write it down and you tell me if I'm right. If you think that's the domino. Can you read my writing?
Barely, but yes, I can read
We got
it.
the same one?
Yes, and we agree.
Perfect. I would say one of you were very, very close to it, but we're going to not make you struggle. Look at 1,471 people are on here today. Okay. So what we both agree is the domino of a handler's skill set, that when you have this, all of the rest of these brilliant skills that you guys have said, oh, boom, Somebody got the answer. Do you know that
There we
person?
have it.
So you can say the name because I'm not a linguist.
It's Hilde Karin.
Oh.
You want to try it?
Hilda Karen.
Not too bad.
Okay. Phew.
Not too bad.
Mindset. If you have the strength of mindset, all of the rest of the skills become so much easier,
Yes.
right? So let's talk first about when you don't have, and maybe you don't recognize yet
Mhm.
what it looks like if your mindset needs some work. So I would ask you to write in the comments, and if you would get up there and flip that board. I took some notes beforehand. Max was coming in, so flip it towards the door.
Right.
So it goes the bottom up. Yeah, like that. Perfect. So if you are lacking in a good mindset, tip it a little bit. Yeah, perfect. If you're lacking in the area of mindset, or what else would they call it? Mental preparation. I don't know.
I mean, it's also like focusing on what's important.
Right. If you struggle with that, how do you think it would show up?
Yeah.
How do you think it would present itself?
Yes.
And this is a mindset. It's not like I'm saying you need a better stay at the start line.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a black and white behavior
Yes.
that you can go, well, I can fix that. Mindset, it might be a little bit of a scary topic for some people, which is what we love talking about.
Yes.
So
also, I think it's like not a thing that you can be done with after working on it. So
no,
you always have to keep working on it a little bit more
100%.
and improving always. And if you can reflect on what you're doing,
Did
you're on the right track.
Did you play sports when you were younger?
I did.
At a higher level that you had to work
I rode,
on?
quad ATV.
Yes.
As a motocross.
Ah.
As a teenager and kid, I rode it like in the German league.
So what was that league? Oh, it was up in Norway or Finland where they had those crazy cars that went like 1,000,000 miles an hour and went off cliffs and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not what I did.
Okay. Phew, I'm glad to know that.
I just rode in dirt.
Okay, here's a great answer. Do you want to go on the board and check off?
Yeah.
So I think this one is up there. And it is, if you lack mindset, your dog may not have the connection with you. And what happens, somebody else said, losing connection, that it becomes more difficult. So number 2, I put focus on the task at hand or connection. So it gets more difficult to focus on, like, this is where you might forget the course.
Yes, of course.
Right? Or you forget what hand or what word. I can't remember what word I'm going to use.
Or you get distracted or something.
Yeah, like, so that your connection to your dog is gone because when you struggle with your mindset, everything gets narrow and overwhelming to you. Okay, so miscommunication for sure. So when you your dogs, here's a good one too. You're insecure, nervous, and the dog can feel that. So I put in belief in what's possible. So you don't lack confidence in what's possible for you. You don't lack confidence in what's possible for your dog. So I gave the example on the weekend when I was helping a friend of mine, and she was with her dog at the start line, and she wanted the dog to sit a different way. And then she kept saying, like, feet, sit up. And I said, if you come to the line as a dog trainer, you can't be the best handler.
Yeah.
The dog training has to happen before you come into agility, into the course.
Yes.
So at a competition, when you are still being a bit of a dog trainer, you can't 100% be in the best mindset to be the best handler.
Yes.
So you want to be the best handler, and the dog training has to be done beforehand. Whether it's like making them stop on a seesaw or get a perfect start line, and that's the ones where you're worried about, you're focusing on your dog training at the start line, and then as soon as you go to leave, your dog goes.
Yes.
And then you're like, you're going to get an off course or a knock bar or something in the first 3 obstacles.
And then you just lose the focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So mindset, these are little what I said, ways that you need to work on your mindset. ways that you need to work on your mindset. And maybe they're not so obvious to you. So let's go over. So we got the belief in what's possible for you and for your dog, lack of focus, lack of connection on course. These things you might not even realize. Oh, it's my mindset that needs work.
Yeah.
How many of you have been like, I just don't feel motivated to train. I just can't do it. But that's a symptom of a mindset issue.
For sure.
Right? Like,
yes. For example, also when you come out of a run and the things that you think about are like the things that didn't work.
yes.
And these take over like such a priority.
Like a disease.
Yes, it's like a disease.
It is.
And you can't get rid of it because you're just focusing on that so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
that needs mindset work.
So number 8.
Yeah, it's emotional control.
Emotional control.
Yes.
So if your dog is frustrated, you go, oh, why does this always happen to me?
Yes.
Or why can't I just get this? Or how,
Yes.
right? So that.
Yes. And I think it's human to have like that sort of thought, but it takes a really, really, really good mindset.
Oh.
I can go here. It takes a really, really good mindset to get out of that as quickly as possible, because that's not what it's about.
Right. And we're only human. Like, nobody's saying you shouldn't. If you get frustrated, you've got a bad mindset.
Yeah,
No, it's your ability to go, well, that wasn't my best work.
Yeah.
But what was good there?
Yes.
Right. So it's your emotional control to things outside of your control.
Yes.
Like, do you get angry? Do you get, teary?
Upset, yes.
You can have tears if that's your thing, but get over it and say, what was good about that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a rule on that for myself, which maybe helps some people as well. So when I have a run and I'm like not finishing in the way that I was hoping for, or I was planning to.
Has that ever happened, Max? I'm just kidding. I know it happens occasionally.
It does. It's normal. It happens. So what I usually do is I go out, I reward the dog, and then I will go, like, I will do everything that I usually do that I would also do if I had the run of my life. Maybe I would cry for the run of my life.
Yeah, of course. I know you would.
I did 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I heard that.
So but then I would do everything that I usually would. And when I did my like cooling down walk, I usually look at the video and I look at it, because most of the times, I would say at least 95% of the times, it didn't look as bad as it felt.
Exactly.
It didn't look as bad as it felt. And if you just let your emotions run through immediately after you finish the run, it's not a realistic perspective anymore.
And what happens with a lot of people is in the middle of the run, let's say they go to do a front cross and they weren't in connection the way they could have, and their dog went behind their back.
Yeah.
And then the crowd might have laughed.
Yes.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Now you can't recover, right? If you've got what's within your control, and just don't play to the crowd. Nobody cares about what the crowd thinks.
Yeah, it's you and your dog.
Right, because you're feeling a little bit humiliated.
Yeah.
And the truth is, not one person is going to remember that happened tomorrow, except you. Yes. So just keep going. Connect with the dog and keep going. So, so we got motivation to train is another one. So often I'll say to people, how many times did you visualize that run before you went in the ring? And they would say, oh, I can't visualize. Well, that's a symptom of mindset work. Yeah. Right. You should be able to calm your breathing and calm yourself and visualize what is about to happen. Yes. And even when you're practicing before, like one of the things I love to do, and I've done this since Encore. So Encore was born in 2000. And I was teaching a seminar in what you were like 8, probably, right?
In 2000?
No, you weren't even born.
I was 1 year old.
Okay, Encore was born in 2004. I digress. Okay. So I was 2005, and I was teaching a seminar in Hawaii. And I've told this story before, where I just won the U.S. Nationals, I think the year before, and I was doing laundry, and I was waiting for the laundry, and the only magazine was a Golf Digest, and it was boring, and I don't like golf. So what I did, Encore was 6 months old, and I could visualize what she would look like as an adult dog. So I ran the courses I'd run at the national finals in my mind with her. I did right?
I've done that.
So you don't have to be visualizing an event.
Yeah.
You could just be visualizing with a future dog. Like it's like Profits already run the
European Open.
European Open. Yes, he did.
Did he beat his mother?
Just by 100th of a
Oh,
second.
okay.
But
I can live with that.
so practicing the ability to practice and to visualize, that is a mindset. When people say I can't, well, that I can't is related to the positive self-talk and the affirmations.
Yes.
So I think this is a list of the good things for the mindset. Not,
things.
I thought I did a list for symptoms of what's bad, but this is a list of the good things.
Yeah.
So,
and you must believe her, because she must know what she's talking about. I mean, you're doing it for so long, and you're so motivated to always improve everything. I find it so inspiring.
That's awesome.
You're like,
just think,
every dog
in 40 years, Max, the things that you will know because you're starting so young. It's awesome.
Like my brain will be this big.
Exactly.
I will have that head.
So having the positive self-talk is a biggie. That it's positive self-talk about yourself, about your dog, and about other people.
Yes.
So if you think other people are talking about you or laughing at you, if you go into your emotional self, like it's what people think about you is not in your control. So I've been doing dog agility for 33 years or 34 years. So I would not continue to do dog agility if I took on the energy of the negative talk that I think I hear. A lot of times it's not even true, right? So people think that people are talking about them.
But it's not even happening.
No.
You just get the feeling, but it's not even true.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. Even if it happens, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, right.
Yeah, it
even if
matter.
it does, because I'm sure 1 or 2 times people have been talking about me in a negative way.
Yes.
That's their journey. It is not my journey.
Yes.
So it's none of my business what people think about me.
Yes.
Right. So.
And you can choose.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the positive things.
Absolutely.
And keep growing, or if you focus on the negative things and maybe stay in your place.
Absolutely. And we know there's an energy that comes around you. Like if you just say things like gratitude and joy and love, that you feel differently in your body than if you say hate and resentment, and it just changes you.
Yes.
So the way you talk to yourself and about yourself is huge for your mindset.
Yes.
And at the end, I'll give you couple little tips that you can do. You're going to get homework after today. Okay, so which ones haven't we talked about on that list? We did number 4.
We kind of did number 9.
Yes, and 10.
We did talk about the growing mindset.
Number 5.
Oh, yes.
So number 5 is having resilience to failure. Maybe it should be resiliency. I'm not sure, but being resilient. And it's not to say that you're okay with failure, but you look at failure in a different way.
Yes,
right?
You have to look at it differently.
It's just lessons.
Yes, and it happens
to everyone.
All of us. Yes,
because there's no growth without failure.
Yeah, it has to happen in some way.
And the people that get too upset by it are the ones that stay safe.
Yeah,
they don't try anything new.
Yeah,
and because they don't want to fail at something.
Yeah,
right. And like I remember one year at the World Championships. So one of the big lessons I learned, I was running 2 dogs on the team. So there's only 4 dogs running, and I was running first and last. And I walked the wrong course. So I ran the wrong course with Encore. And then I had to get feature, and then they had to tell me, this is where you went wrong. But what happened was the team leader stopped watching me when I ran the wrong course. And I ran it wrong 2 places. So I E'd with both two of the 14 dogs.
Yeah.
And they were 2 of the best dogs there. Like feature won gold at that world in individual in agility. And so people were like, oh my God, this is gonna, like, there were so many people watching on the live stream, and she E'd with 2 dogs and she's supposed to be good. And I like that is out in the field.
Yeah.
I learned a valuable lesson about how I read, because I am dyslexic. I tend to flip things.
Okay.
And so now I always watch when I do important walkthroughs, I walk them on paper with my finger with somebody. And they'll say, no, but that is the wrong side.
Okay.
It's on the other side of the jump.
Okay.
So, but my point is that day at the World Championships, I cooled up my dogs. I went in the stands, and people were like, how's she going to be? it's on the field. It's done.
Yes.
Where's my lesson? Let's move on. I still got more runs here.
Yes.
I felt bad for my team. We always do, right? When
Of
we
course.
screw up on
Yes.
team.
Yes. That's it.
But like,
Yeah.
what are the lessons that we can learn from that? So,
But also it happens to everybody.
yeah,
So yes.
maybe not at world championships with 2 dogs, but
You-
failure.
But you have to qualify with 2
Failure
dogs
happens.
first.
Yeah, exactly. Failure happens to everybody. It's your relationship with failure
Yes.
that makes the difference.
Yes.
It's huge.
Yes. And I think we can all, like including us,
Mhm.
it's like a work in progress
Always.
through everything. So yeah.
Oh, video is a little bit out of focus. That's because, my friends, you've been drinking. I can't. No. I can just change camera. Sometimes that camera overheats a little bit. So I'll just change to that camera for a bit.
Because we are on fire.
Because we're on fire. Exactly. Okay, that's it. So we'll just go with this camera for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, these 2 are related, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And that is
Oh yes.
is to be committed to improving. Like you
Yes.
can't, like, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah. That's the thing actually, because I think improving, that's why I like when you talk about goals or stuff like
Yes.
this, I like that you can do individual goals. So nobody has to have this goal right from the start.
Exactly.
You know, you should be committing to improve, and then you can set your goals.
Progress,
more
not
and more.
perfection.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, I went into Max's Hall today, and I took a picture, and I was going to show you guys, and I might be able to show you because this is exactly what I do. And I laughed and I said, I'm going to take a picture. I didn't even ask permission to show it.
It's
But
fine.
this is on a whiteboard, and it's homework for him and for Ramona, his girlfriend. And you know, for
Sonic, my little shouty boy on there, but I don't think you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is like a commitment to improve.
Yes.
So that is onward. It doesn't matter if you just won like all of these big tournaments.
Yes.
You go home, you make a list of things you want to improve on.
Of
You want
course.
to keep going.
Yes.
Right. And so that was 6. I'm saying these, we say these in all crazy orders, but, and then number 7 is goal setting.
Yeah.
And goal setting is really creating the framework for
Mhm.
that improvement.
Yes.
Because if a goal is vague,
Mhm.
like I want to get better, I want to have more joy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How can we can't measure that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to be really specific about improving incrementally, and you know, all of those 10 things. Well, you know what? I'm gonna turn this. You guys can screen cap that if you want.
You're not using that camera at the moment?
Oh, okay. We're gonna go with the foggy drunken camera, and we're going to turn here. You can go stand beside it so they can get you in the screen cap, Max.
Yeah.
And there you can model for the people. Look at drop down a little bit. There we go.
I don't know if I can stand like this. But
There
I
we
can
go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
So that's your screen cap of the 10 things that you can do for your mind. Nice.
You want a screenshot?
Well played. Yes. And that okay, I'll go back. Well, let's try this. We'll go back to this other camera and we'll try that. Okay. Any questions about that? We have one. Okay. Okay. So what is an exercise to when training your dog to frame your mindset? So we're going to give you one tonight for homework. We're going to give you a little exercise to help you frame your mindset. You can answer that one tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
We'll keep that one for tomorrow, because that'll be a great question for you and for our special guest. Okay. So a lot of you are saying that you understand what we're saying, that you get it. I know it's hard. And there's 10 things on that list. You know, just pick 1 or 2. We're going to give you homework so that you can, we can suggest that. Okay. So that is the big picture of the domino. If we can dial in every day, get a little better at all 10 of those things, then things like your running contacts, that can be very frustrating.
Yes.
So you're not going to be frustrated by that.
Yeah.
Things like
Leaf entries.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Or your dog, you're having a crazy good run and your dog pops out of the last pole.
Yes.
And the frustration or disappointment or, right? Why does it always happen to me?
Yeah.
Thinking about how you're talking about what you're doing,
Yes.
while you're doing it. So getting the mindset right makes everything else easier. And you could be the best handler in the world. You could have that connection that Max has got. You know the timing of saying your cues exactly at the right time. You're there when you need to. You can accelerate away. But if your mindset is needing work, your success will be distant. It will elude you for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Or maybe even if you get further, there will always be a turning point, I think.
Absolutely.
Where you still have to improve on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, it's all about, I tell people, what is your self-identity?
Mm-hmm.
So how you identify yourself will help you get better at all these things. So if you say my identity, I'll give you an example. Somebody early on who was coaching, she won a gold medal at a world championship. And so she said, I'm quitting the sport now. And she said, I've won all there is to win. So
really?
And so
okay.
Here's what I believe happened. I believe she then now identified as a world champion.
Okay.
So if she ever lost,
okay,
that would affect her identity.
Yes. Yes.
So, right. So my identity that I identify as a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
So nothing is ever going to take that away from me.
I was going to say that when we were at your place in January, you said it one evening and I repeated it to multiple people, that I find it super inspiring, because that also shows why you are in this game for so long, so successful, because you're always wanting to learn something more. Yeah. And it's really, really, really good. And I've tried to adjust it more to my life as well. And it's been so good.
It's so healthy.
Yeah.
Because there's so many lessons in the world that we can all learn, right? Yes. We're never going to, this isn't, okay. Do you analyze the dog's mindset? I think the dog's mindset, we can only interpret through their body language, and we can never be 100% right unless you get, you have that ability to read a dog's mind.
Yeah, I think what I can just say from my experience is that I can analyze my dogs really, really well in their general behaviors, and also in situations where they might fail because they you can see it, for example, with Meg, my Sheltie, that her mindset in some points, she's her priorities are sometimes a little bit out of focus. So I know which places do I need to support her more.
Right.
So my mindset needs to be even better when I run her. And when I have a dog, for example, like Remix, she's completely different because she's so straightforward. You can just be yourself.
Yes.
And she will work with it.
She'll do that.
But you have to look at the dog that's in front of you.
Right.
So my terrier, I did a lot of things wrong when she was young. So her mindset was everywhere, but not where I wanted it to be. So I needed to change so much about myself and about everything, about the approaches.
And I think that if we fix our mindset, that always sets our dogs up to be in the best mindset. And like Max said, knowing that a dog like this, I have to be so much more supportive than even Remix Prophet, who's looks just like Remix, who is so young but so confident and independent, right? So we have to be who that dog needs us to be as the handler. That's a great question. Okay. Is this masterclass for people just starting and don't have access to equipment? This masterclass is appropriate and will be beneficial for everybody. I promise you, there will be people watching this that have won world championships already. There will be people who are watching this who haven't even got their first dog, but they know they want to do dog agility when they get that first dog. So it's appropriate for every cross section of people who love dogs, who love positive reinforcement-based learning. And I think that when you get into that mindset, it allows you to have a better life yourself,
Yes.
because you're always focused on having a better life for your dog.
It's so much more fun.
Absolutely.
This way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much more fun.
Okay, so where'd you get all the paper from? Oh, I see.
Shout out to Kim.
Shout out to Kim. Okay, so the question is, would you train in the ring if a mistake happened, or would you carry on?
Ooh, can I start answering?
Yeah,
Okay. So I think that's, again, very, very dog dependent.
absolutely.
Like, it's a huge, huge thing. I love to learn by example, so I will give you one. So for example, a dog like Remix, she wants like clarity for sure. So for example, if you wouldn't redo it, then she would consider this, okay, that's how we're going to do it now. And then she would repeat that mistake. And I maybe have like a struggle that could have been avoided if I was like quick enough and smart enough to redo that situation. And then depending on like where I am in the course, sometimes I just do that and then give my toy cue, and they're supposed to run out and I run after them.
That's beautiful.
So that's just a reward. But then, for example, a dog like Rebel, my young Sheltie, she's 20 months old, super cool, but she sometimes is not as confident, especially in the competition environment. So what happened was, I was in Finland at this midsummer festival, and she qualified for her first final.
Wow.
And it was a huge course. And I saw that she might went out of the weaves, but it looked like she did the movement. I wasn't 100% sure. And I decided instantly that I will carry on, because I was like, okay, maybe she wasn't able to perform that right now. She's showing so much confidence in this run. Why would I kill that?
Exactly.
By stopping her.
Yep.
So I decided to go on, and it was the best decision I could have taken for her in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just have to analyze your dog. Do they need to keep in the flow, or are they better with more clarity?
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's like, it gets gray. So like, I think 2 weekends ago, I was at a trial and Vissy was having an amazing run and she left the weaves 3 pulls early.
Yeah.
And you know what I did?
Yeah.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
Because for Vissy to be excited enough to make a mistake.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes, that's a win.
Right.
That's a win.
And so, but that doesn't mean, I've heard people say, oh, my dog, needs more motivation, and the dog is kind of trotting. And so if the dog like doesn't do anything and leaves you and goes in a tunnel, you keep praising them. No, that dog really doesn't need to be in the, it's overwhelmed.
Yes.
So, there's a difference between what we are saying about.
There has to happen dog training before.
Exactly. The dog training happens outside of the ring.
And also, as a small thing, when I saw that Rebel went out on a video, like in my mind was like, okay, that's gonna go priority onto our training list.
Me too.
To reinforce what I actually want.
Exactly what I did.
So I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm leaving it. It's fine. She can go out of the weaves now.
Right.
Because that's not what I want.
Right.
But I need to figure out a way of keeping her confident.
And a dog like Prophet, when he goes to his first trial, that's one thing I will be watching for, because he wants to go on to the next thing.
Yes.
And I could see him saying, that's done enough and I'll move on. And
I
will stop. And I will go back and repeat the weak pulls and then tell him to get out of the ring and go get a reward.
She did. She did, but she did the movement. Yeah. So she even did the movement.
Oh, she did.
But she was like, oh, where's the ball? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's Max's secret for watching his dog?
Should we give it away today?
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Or maybe
Kim wants to know.
maybe episode 3. It'll be really appropriate for episode 3.
Okay.
So we'll keep this question
Yes.
for episode 3. Oh, Kim wants her. She's very possessive about her papers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll definitely circle back, and we'll definitely talk about Max's secret for keeping his eye on his dog.
Yeah.
And okay, so I want to now go on to the second part of the equation. Remember, going back to the dancing Max, we focus on what is the domino for you to be able to direct with clarity, and that is the mindset. And now let's talk about all of the elements, and we've already kind of talked about some of them, that go into a dog being able to drive with confidence. Okay, so it is, what skills allow a dog to drive with confidence? And let's fill up the chat with skills that you know would help your dog drive with confidence.
Yeah. I have so many in my mind.
Talking makes your voice, your throat go dry. Okay. Positive experiences and rewards. So definitely training in a positive way.
Yeah.
And it's something that Max and I resonate with. And we're very aligned in our moral compass where dogs and dog training are concerned.
Yes.
So definitely that's a big part. Understanding. I can't even select these because you guys are going so fast.
I like that one.
This one.
That one.
Making training fun. Oh, that's just so important.
Yes.
So important. Yes. You guys have to have fun as well as the dog having fun.
It's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely the handler confidence helps that. Every time I go to click one, it just flies. You guys are putting in so many comments. Skill for dog drive my own speed. I'm not sure. So
not necessarily.
So yeah, it's not your speed. It's really the dog, what the dog will give you for sure. So supporting independence. So allowing that dog to be able to drive out. And if you've seen any videos with Max's young dog Rebel, I mean, she's amazing. Her ability to drive away.
And she's this small, so you don't need a big border collie for it.
She is so little. It's so amazing. So yes, being confident handler. So your clarity absolutely helps with that dog, but you can be really clear in a dog take a right turn and grab a tunnel and go and visit other people. Like what other things? Engaging games as part of your training. Definitely. I think that's just so important. You know, as Max said, I've been doing this for more than 30 years. And the things I saw early on that people trained that they believe you had to, like dogs had to be on a choke chain and corrected when they popped out of the poles. And I remember writing on a list, actually, I've never done that. And I don't believe, and then another big, like a world team person put, well, that might work for your dog, Susan, but not the rest of us aren't Susan Garrett. And I'm like what, how far the world has come now, right? Like that just is so long removed. There's still some people who do a lot of physical punishment, but for the most part, people realize that agility is supposed to be fun for the dog.
That's our passion.
Absolutely.
All three of us.
Yes. The special guest as well, that we are all aligned in that belief. Dog knows how to interact with each piece of equipment. So they know the appropriate criteria. They love the appropriate criteria. That's just so cool. Okay, you can share some of yours, Max. So how can a dog drive with clarity? So
well, for me, it's like they need to understand the criteria. They need to love the criteria. And
100%.
They need to love the criteria.
It's not because they have to.
No, they should love it.
Yes.
And they should be able to do that independently from our movement. I see that a lot when I'm teaching seminars, that people are really, really trying to get more skills and to get more independency. But they tend to help with their body so early on.
Or lures.
Yes, lures or something like this. Instead of gradually growing the skills step by step by step. And then also there's so much independence that you can add into it. And my experience is that independence will give so much confidence 100%. If you train it the right way.
100%.
So the dogs, they can just focus on what they're doing and they can
show the love for what they do. Like they just have so much joy. And I just like, you should see some videos of Belief in Kim now. Like it's just so crazy how far she goes and just like, she knows what she's doing. And that's just so fun. So I think that training the obstacles in a way that you aren't a part of that picture. That every time you do a weave pull, I'll be there at the end to reward you. Because then they can never get away from you because that's where the reward is. So super.
And if you're thinking, yeah, but my dog still has some skills. I think there are some crazy good genius dogs
yes.
who will just do everything. But there's still room to learn. Like there's room to learn for
every
all
dog,
of us
all
and
of
for
us,
all
yeah.
of the dogs.
100%.
There's always something new. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I really love about our combination.
Yeah.
That we
challenge each
I give
other.
you a small story. We were sitting in our new hall, my new hall, and we're sitting on the ground planning something. And what happened was we sat there for like 2 hours talking about some skill on a course that was like not the topic.
Yeah.
But we have so much passion for that.
Yeah.
And I think we share
what,
it all.
and what the dog sees when that skill is presented. And it's awesome. There's a good one, Christine. Creating value for the dog finding those skills.
That's
So, I think you guys have really got it, that it's about the dog owning that the behavior of whatever it is, of doing distance sends, of doing a seesaw independent, like that in the video clip with is it May gets it right.
Yes.
You're like miles away and she's like right at the end of the seesaw.
Yes. And she even pushes to that criteria.
Yeah.
She wants to get there as fast as she can.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Good physical conditioning for sure.
Of course.
Right.
Yes. I think that's like another domino.
Yeah.
You need that for sure.
And I think I've talked about this before, and I think it's a balance is needed of both the I don't know if we call it professional fitness with what I like to call forest fitness. So dogs being able to go off leash walks for long distances. Yes, we need to work on their shoulder strength and their ability to balance and all the other things. But I find sometimes people do that and instead of. And the forest fitness, it's not just about their physical well-being, because I mean that's great, but it's also about their mental.
Yes.
Right?
I think the forest fitness, it's a good word for it, because it's like, if I picture myself going on a walk with my dogs, turning the phone out, and just breathing in, breathing out, going through nature, that does something to your mindset.
Absolutely.
And I think it does something for the dogs as well. Helps them relax.
Agree.
Just
and
recharge.
You've got so many amazing places here in Germany. That was the thing that we talked about when we went home.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, so amazing. So have we ever had a dog that wasn't interested in agility?
Yes.
And for me, it is always about, I think this is probably the one that you could say wasn't interested in agility, but there is always a reason that if I can help you, and it's not about that you're my dog, you must do agility, you must like it. It's about, if there's something that I need to help you live a better life, because if it's that you're not, like she was disinterested in doing any agility, then what else are you going to be disinterested in? And for me, it was because she was in some physical discomfort. So I think if the training is presented first up in a way that is engaging and fun, and the dog is not in pain, that every dog has the ability to enjoy agility.
Sure. Yes. I worked so much with my first dog on like just building that connection, building that bond.
Yes. Probably a lot of tricks.
Yes. Everything, like from it. I was 12 and a half years old.
Wow.
Maybe 13, just 13. So I was
agility wasn't invented when I was 13.
So what I did, when we got to that point where she enjoyed working with me, doing tricks and like just going a little bit wild for it, we got to like the next stone in our way, which was like she was a little bit afraid of that, of people clapping on that. So what I did was I took action and I went to handball games and football games in the city.
Good for you.
And I went there and I did like step by step. The first time I went outside the door, just rewarded her there, did some tricks there, went on and on and on.
You were so young.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. And I just wanted to improve that more and more. So I think if you have a dog that's not interested in agility, I think the first thing you should do is make the dog interested in working with you, because then I think you should have the possibility.
Or you should be more interesting to
Yes.
work with.
Yes. Yes.
So I think the dogs that I've seen that are not interested in agility are dogs that maybe went to an agility class that you see a lot in North America, where the first day in class, there's no relationship, but they're told to, let's put the dog on the dog walk,
Yes.
let's put the dog on the seesaw,
Yes.
let's push them through the tunnel.
Yes.
And then, you know, some dogs make it and some dogs are deemed not interested in
Yes.
agility.
Yes.
And so that is just a poor start. And anybody that you go to an agility class that they say, let's get on the equipment day one,
Yeah.
like turn and go the other direction.
Yes.
That is not a place that is
There's
going to
so much happening before, or there should happen so much before.
so much before.
Yes.
Yeah, you could do some real damage emotionally to that dog,
Yes.
and they could learn to really not like the sport at all. So if we go back to the picture, so we've got the domino for directing with clarity. And so the question becomes, what do you believe is the domino for getting your dog to drive with confidence? What would be that one domino? And yeah, you know, it's easy to say it could be fun, having a foundation first. And I would say that goes for all dog training.
Yeah.
All dog training, that is the one thing. And 100% that could be what that is, but that's not what I'm talking about with agility training. And I'm going to leave that with you to talk about, to think about, because I want you. I've got something I'm going to go to. I think it's in this notebook. Yeah. So I think that's a great domino for all of, no matter, for a family pet. Like, it goes hand in hand with that. A dog that has a fun relationship, a fun foundation, they are going to be able to trust you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's super, super important.
Yeah.
For all training, all relationships with dogs.
And then the question is, what do you need as a skill to trust your dog on the course?
Yeah, that's the domino.
That's the domino that we're searching for.
What is that domino?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to us. How do I get us here? Boom. There we go. In your handout, in your masterclass notes, do I have two of those? No. In your masterclass notes, there is, I'm going to give you a couple assignments. The one that I want you to think about is, I'm going to take that comment off. It is a timeline. I asked you to do an inventory of the skills that you're proud of, that you think your dog is brilliant at, the skills that you think you need to be working on, and evaluate yourself, like where your dog is today, maybe where your dog was last month and 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because that is a gap that you should be evaluating routinely. Yeah. Unfortunately, what people evaluate is they look at the gap of where they are in the big blue circle and where they want to be. Yeah. And then their mindset is tarnished because they go, oh, I'll never get there. Oh, my litter mate is doing those things and I'm not. So part of your homework before we come live again tomorrow night is to do that inventory of what are the skills. Be honest. Yeah. We've talked about things for your own mindset, but this is all about the relationship you have with your dog and the skills that they have with regards to agility. So some, you haven't trained at all. Some, you've trained and maybe your dog isn't having the joy that we spoke about. So do that honest inventory that is it's in that notebook. I flipped through it and I didn't see it at first, but I know it's in there because I saw it earlier today, but you can see it.
Yeah. And I can actually guarantee you, speaking from experience, that when you start doing that and inventory more and more, also like after your trainings, you will get so much better at knowing what you're capable of running a course. Exactly. So the more you do this and the more you figure out, okay, that's what I can do now, that's what I need to improve, that's what already improved, because you also need to look at that. You need the confidence in knowing, okay, that's how far we've come, but this is how far we want to go.
Exactly.
And this is how we do it. I think that's the part we could have.
And if you're not evaluating how far you've come,
Yes.
then it's easy to be depressed.
Yes, for sure.
But you can look back and go,
Yeah.
holy smokes.
Yeah. That's already,
Right?
yeah, for sure. And you will get better and better at it.
Absolutely. Okay. So back to, here is that sheet I was looking for. It says it's agility skill inventory. Put a date, just put your date on it, and then be honest with yourself about your dog skill. If you have more than one dog that you're training in agility, do this for all of your dogs. If you have a puppy that you've got goals to someday do agility, do this evaluation now. And then, I mean, I think you should be doing it at least every 3 months and look at the progress. Are you progressing? Are you moving in a direction? Or if you're not, do you know why not? Maybe you've been on vacation for 2.5 months, or you've been away from your dog. But that's really where I looked at Thissy, and I'm like, we are not progressing. And so what are
we
some,
need to change them.
right? What else could I be looking at? And for her, it was nutrition, that she had a problem with her gut. And some of you have heard the story about Thissy and her challenges. So that's number one. That's your homework number one for the dog. For you, I would like to review. Some of you have seen this from my podcast, and it's about how we can evaluate and adjust our mindset. And it starts by thinking about your beliefs. And I would like you to think of 3 beliefs. Number one is the belief that you have in how you think of your dog. And do you immediately think of the limitations of the dog? Oh, but my dog isn't as fast as other dogs. Or, oh, but my dog is pretty slow to learn things. Like, do you have any things that you talk about in a negative way? Or if you have one of those dogs that appears to be frantic and knocking bars, and do you say things like, oh, my dog's on his own agenda?
Yeah.
Or he doesn't care, or he's blowing me off.
Yes. Or warning the trainer in a seminar, my dog is crazy.
Or
that's what happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm sorry, my dog is crazy.
And that is limiting you, because I can't do anything, because that's who my dog is. If that's what you believe, then you are putting the brakes on any progress you can make in agility.
Yes.
Right? I made that mistake with Buzzy, calling him crazy, until I stopped calling him crazy. And it was almost like within 6 months of that, like he won like 3 national championships when he was 5 years old, when I stopped calling him all these names. So number one is the belief you have in your dog, and the talk you have about your dog, and the belief you have in yourself. Do you say, oh, I'm 63 years old, I couldn't possibly win another world championship? Just watch out. Like, no, I don't talk that way. So the belief you talk about yourself, you could say, oh, Susan, I'm just realistic. I can't do agility because ding, 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 ding. If you could do agility, what would it look like? Oh, maybe you wouldn't be able to be places where other people are. So instead of saying, I can't because, ask yourself the question, if I could, what would it look like? We're just changing the questions that you're asking yourself. So it's the belief you have about your dog, the belief you have about yourself. The other thing is, I would like you to consider and we touched on this earlier, the conversations or your emotions in regards to things outside of your control. The people that you think are doing things badly or wrong, or they shouldn't do that with their 10-month-old puppy, or it's outside of your control. And how does that serve you by rehearsing the gossip about all the things that are bad in agility and all the things, instead of flipping it and saying, wow, I wonder if, we can improve this, or if I could have a conversation with this person about this. So everything starts with your belief, because the beliefs you have about your dog or the other people or yourself, that creates thoughts that rotate through your brain every day. And the thoughts are, about what's limiting you, or why that person's not a good person, or why your dog will never be. And then when you have that belief, you then will have what we talked about, those emotional outrages, or, you know, your emotions will go in places that
up and down.
They're not going to take you to a good place.
Yes, no.
And when you get that, it gives you an outcome.
Yeah.
Right. And when you're sulking, or you're going, when you're trying to train your dog, like that will give you a dog who looks at you and goes, I don't want to play. Or you might think your dog gets crazier.
Yeah.
Well, they're just feeding off of the energy of the room.
Yes, for sure.
It's not healthy.
Yes.
And then those actions will give you results which feed the same belief. If you believe your dog is crazy and you think, oh, he just knocked those bars because he's crazy, and then your emotion's going to be, I got to give up. This dog is just so crazy. So your action is going to be no action because you think your dog's crazy. Then your results are going to be the same results you got last week.
100%.
So I would like you to consider that. That is going to be your homework. Or what are the things that you're currently thinking about your dog, about yourself? All right, about yourself, your dog, and about other people. Mm-hmm. What are the ones that aren't serving you, and how can you change those things that aren't serving you? Okay, and I'm going to ask you to stop a few things. There's this video clip. I sent it to Kim and Chelsea and Linda the other day, and it was an old. You won't know this guy. Never mind. Any of you out there who are of the age that remember Bob Newhart, or you want to Google Bob Newhart on YouTube, go to YouTube and search Bob Newhart, Stop It. He's in this skit. He's a therapist. And the person says, oh, I'm having these thoughts and I can't. And he goes, okay, I can help you with that. Stop it. She goes, but when I'm having just stop it. So I'm going to give you some things to just stop.
Yeah.
So you need to stop when you start criticizing yourself. When you say, "How could you be so?" Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to call yourself. You shouldn't be calling yourself those bad names. So stop talking negatively about yourself. Stop believing that other people have influence over your success.
Yes.
And stop looking for reasons why your dog is flawed.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes. And stop looking for reasons why you couldn't be better than you were today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
you can
change
improve.
it around.
Yes.
How can I be better? Just flip that around. Okay. So now, I love Bob. See, people know Bob Newhart. He was older than me. Okay. He's dead now. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. Number one, my team is going to put a post on our Facebook page that's called Gems. And if there were, and if you were really listening, there were a lot of gems tonight.
Yeah.
What were the gems that you took from tonight's live? And we are going to give away, you know what we're going to give away? I just decided this. Okay, I'm lying. I decided this before. I'm going to give away a set of Galligan tunnel bags.
Ooh.
I can't swear they're going to be either purple or blue.
That's so nice.
Right?
So nice.
A set. So one bag and the other bag come together. Zingo, giving them away. We're sending them to you. All that you have to do is share a gem, something that woke you up tonight that you said, oh my gosh, this is going to make a difference with my dog. This is amazing. All right. And I'd like to thank the great people at Galligan. Some hearts for Galligan and Run It. Run It, our North American distributor, and Galligan, the great people, are so innovative about the way they approach all dog equipment.
More safety all the time.
All
improving.
the time focusing on that.
So
yeah, they're amazing. And Jamie said I could call him Jamie. Jaime.
I think.
And we have a winner of the tug toy from For My Merles, and that is Kim Weeder.
I think it's Vida.
Vida.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if Kim is in Germany, I bet that is how it is.
Yes.
Kim Vida.
Vida.
Okay. So, and
For a moment, I thought Kim wrote her own name on it because she wanted
she
the
wants the
toy.
tunnel bag. Oh no, this is a toy.
That's
That's
a
right.
toy.
Okay, this is a great question to start tomorrow. How did Max start his learning journey? When did Susan come into the picture? I can tell you when I came into the, well, it was, we've been talking about dog breeding for years.
Yes.
And I was going to get a puppy for Remix's litter, because it was the litter before
Yes.
that I was interested, because you had red puppies. And I'm like,
yes.
I want a red puppy.
Yeah.
So that's actually how we got to be friends.
Actually, it's been even longer than it was like on my 2018 Sweden AWC.
Yes.
It was my first AWC, and I went down the stairs with Bex.
Yes.
And we have never talked like any word before. And you were like, I was 18 years, and you were like, you know, Garrett. And then you were like, you called him, and you were like, oh, I love him. He's so beautiful and everything. And then I was like, okay. Okay.
I did.
I like her.
I still
like
love
her.
Bex.
She loves Bex.
Oh,
I love her.
he's
That's
such
how
a
it
cool
goes.
Dog. Such a cool dog. So there was the question. Okay, but
That's a really good one.
Answer the
tomorrow.
beginning of that. Yeah. So tomorrow, I'll get rid of our picture here. Tomorrow, we're going to go into, because we didn't share what we feel is the domino for dogs to really have success in agility. We're not only going to share what that is, but I put together a 4-part tutorial to teach you exactly how to do it. And it's a skill that I would guess 80%, maybe even more, 90% of the people doing agility teach badly. And this is going to be such a mind blow. I've never taught it publicly before. And so I'm going to give you all the step-by-step tutorial, how to teach it. Plus, of course, we have our surprise guest joining us for tomorrow. And so I'm going to give you one more chance. Guess the country that our surprise guest is coming.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Right? What is the origin of this surprise guest? There will be a replay if you go to dogsthat.com/skills. There will not be a replay. For tomorrow's won't be anywhere but for members of the masterclass. So if you're not a member of the masterclass, then go to dogsthat.com/skills. So we've got guests of Switzerland, Poland, the UK, Finland, Australia. That'd be a long way for our guests to come in from Australia. Could be done.
I mean, someone just came from Canada.
Somebody did just come from Canada who had just been here. The people at the grocery store recognized Kim and I.
Really?
Yes. Are you back?
Already?
I did not have the vegan. They had the chocolate vegan croissant, and I did not buy any.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have US Open coming up, and I need to get back in shit.
It.
I considered buying them and freezing them and taking them home for after US Open, and that could happen tomorrow. She bought one today. She didn't eat it in front of me, so that was okay. Iceland. We have a guest of Iceland.
Ooh.
We've got some really good. I can think every time I see a new country, I think of a great competitor that could be the special guest from that country. Yeah, it could be any one of them. Spending all your time at the grocery store. You know what? We did go to the pet store as well, and they also recognized us at the pet store.
You went to the pet store now?
Yes,
today.
This morning.
You don't have dogs here.
That doesn't stop me, Max. And I tried to buy 2 more dog beds.
Of course you did.
However,
of course
they
you did.
didn't have the ones I wanted. They were out of stock. So next time. Okay. So go to our Facebook page. I believe that the team, for anybody who doesn't have Facebook, I believe, I could be wrong. So the team might have a place in the lobby of the masterclass for posting your gem as well. And yes, there will be a replay for tomorrow. All of these 4 masterclasses, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you will have until at Friday to watch them all.
Yeah.
So, and then they are going to be they're going down and they're going to be put in Handling 360. So that's my online course. They will all be put in there after we're done. So, so that's all that's happening tonight, and super excited for tomorrow.
I'm so excited.
Thank you for your great questions. Oh, Japan.
Ooh.
Japan. Yes, there's several good handlers that could be from Japan. Okay, so that's it. Did I cover everything? I'm just going to check all the things that I've got. Oh, one more thank you for our sponsors, please. Show some love for Galligan and for my Merles, and be here tomorrow, same time.
Yes, we're ready for you.
4 days in a row. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for your great attention, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.